कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय पुष्पात् परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य सत्र सदस्य मौल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय रामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद से अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गौ गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय नवद्वीप धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय जमुना माई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय स्वामी भक्तवृंद की जय ऑल ग्लोरीज टू देयर समर्थ ऑल ग्लोरीज टू देयर समर्थ ऑल ग्लोरीज टू देयर समर्थ थैंक यू वेरी मच
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 5th chapter, 31st verse. Na te vidhu sa'arta gatim hi Vishnu durashaya ye bahir arta manina Andha yata andhai upaniyamana te api ishatancha urudhamni badha nate vidhu swatagatim hi Vishnu swatagatim hi Vishnu Nate viduk swatakatim hi Vishnu Durashaya je bahiratamanina Durashaya je bahiratamanina Durashaya je bahiratamanina Durashaya je bahiratamanina Andayatandaya rupaniyamana Andayatandaya rupaniyamana Andayatandaya rupaniyamana Andayatandaya rupaniyamana Tepi shatancha
Devi Satantra Urudam Nibadha.
Tepi shatancha tancham udam nibadha Tepi shatancha udam nibadha
Nati vidusharthagating Vishnu Durasayaji Vahirathamanina Andhajathandhai Rupaniyamana Tepi Isatantra Urudam Nibadha. The people in general, especially in this age, they do not know what is the goal of life. And still they are leaders. That is the defect of the modern civilization. It is the defect of material world, but especially in this Kali Yuga, it is the most abominable fallen age. There are Satyayug, Trayug, Dwapar and Kali Yuga. Just like there are different seasons in the year, summer, rainy season, then winter season, autumn, spring, like that. So, formerly, in the Satyayug, people used to live for 100,000 of years. Then, in the Treta Yuga, they used to live for 10,000 years. And in the Dwapar Yuga, they used to live for 1,000 years. That is the maximum. And in the Kali Yuga, they can live up to 100 years. That is also not completed. With the advancement of Kali Yuga, the duration of life, bodily strength, memory, mercifulness, religious sense, in this way everything will be reduced. And the duration of life will be reduced so much so that it is stated in the Bhagavad that if a man lives for 20 to 30 years, he will be considered as a grand old man. And there will be not available, especially rice, wheat, milk, sugar. These are stated. This is Kali Yuga. So, the nature of this material world is that without knowing the goal of life, they become leaders. Material world, especially in this age, They do not know what is the goal of life. They do not know what he is. That is the defect. Dehatma buddhi. Everyone all over the world, they are thinking in terms of this body. Accidentally, somehow or other, because I have got this Indian body, I am thinking I am Indian. And another person, he has got the American body from America. This land also we have demarcated. That is also our creation. Otherwise, the land belongs to God. We have created this. This is America, this is India, this is England, this is Germany. But actually, every land, sea, sky belongs to God. Ishavassamidam sarvam, that is Vedic civilization. Everything belongs to God. Ishavassamidam sarvam. That is Krishna consciousness. People should be free to move in Krishna consciousness. Everything actually it belongs to Krishna. But we have got restriction because we see this is America, this is India, this is... They have been described here as andha jathandhai rupaniyamana. These leaders are themselves blind and they are leading other blind men. General public, they are blind and the leaders are also blind. Andha jathandhai rupaniyamana. Why they are blind? Because they do not know what is the aim of life. Nati vidu. Nati vidu. Sarthaka. Everyone is self-interested. That's very good. You are self-interested, I am self-interested. So, that is, but you do not know what is your self-interest. Therefore you are blind. That is described here, that these blind leaders, they do not know. Well, they have especially mentioned andha jathandhi upaniyaman. The leaders, they lead others. So, jad acharati shrestha tattadeva itare jana. Leaders are responsible because jat acharati shrestha, those who are leaders, whatever they do, they perform, common men follow them. Therefore they must be very perfect. Common men follow the leaders. If the leaders are themselves imperfect, then what will be the position of the common man? So, here it is said that because the leaders, they do not know what is the aim of life, what is the goal of life, therefore, common man, people in general, they are being misguided. They are being misguided. Suppose a blind man leads some other blind man, what will be the result? Both of them will meet danger. That is the result. Because why they are doing very nicely with great cautiousness? No, but they do not know that they are bound up by the laws of nature. Stepi isatantra urudam nibaddha. They cannot divert their attention or deviate from the laws of nature. That is not possible. So they are under the laws of nature. They do not know why the laws of nature are acting in a different way, against their will. Suppose I do not wish to die. Why laws of nature forcing me to die? Nobody wants to die. So you cannot surpass the laws of nature. Therefore Krishna presents in the Bhagavad Gita that you are trying to solve the problems of life, but here are the real problems of life. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha dosanudarsanam. The real problem is that there is death, there is birth, there is old age, and there is disease. This is real problem. That problem is due to this material body. Therefore, our real problem is that we have got this material body, but we have no sense that within this material body I am the spirit soul living. So how to get out of this material body and again revive our spiritual body? Spiritual body is already there. How to become free from the bondage of this material body and become free again in spiritual life? That is real problem of life. That they do not. Who knows? Bring any big leaders, ask him, do you know what is the problem of life? They do not know. Therefore it is said, Nati vidu sartha gatim he Vishnu. Therefore, this movement, Krishna consciousness movement, is preaching back to Godhead. Not go forward for meeting again and again birth, death, old age and disease. That this portion of problem we have already discussed yesterday. Punah punah charvita charvananam. Punah punah charvita charvananam means chewing the chew. You have got in sugar cane many quantity. If somebody chewed the sugar cane, took out the juice, and the remnants is thrown away, what he will get by chewing again that remnants? So, punah punah charvita charvanana. By our activities, we are being placed under the laws of material nature. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvas. Infecting different modes of material nature. Just like if you infect, that this morning some medical officer came to inject me about the yellow fever. So, why this injection, vaccine against the disease? That means if I infect this yellow fever, I will have to suffer. Similarly, the modes of material nature are three, Satagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. And as we are infecting ourselves with the three kinds of modes of material nature, you are getting different types of bodies. Karanam gunasangasya sadasad janma jonishu. I am put into these laws of material nature, and as I am acting under the influence of different modes of material nature, I am getting a type of body. That is my material position. Bhutta bhutta praliyate tatha dehantara prapti dhirasatta namayati. We have to change this body. Death means changing body. We are changing body. Every moment, every second, are getting a new body, imperceptibly. And the last change of this body is taken as death, transmigration of the soul. But nobody knows what kind of change is going to happen in my next body or next life. But there is change of body. Dehantara prapti, just like I was a child, now I have got another body. The body is changed. Similarly, when this body will be finished, then I will get another body. This is a fact. If we cannot understand, then we have to take it from authority to understand, because understanding means taking knowledge from the authority. So Krishna says, Dehinasmin yatha dehi kaumara jovanam jara tatha dehantara prapti. Dehantara prapti is there, information. So how can we deny that there is no life after death? There is. But nobody is caring to understand what is my next life is going to happen. Today I am maybe in a very big position, and tomorrow if I am going to be a tree, here we are sitting very comfortably in this room, and just a few years after there is a tree, he cannot move an inch even, and he has to stand there in cyclone, in scorching heat, in everything. Why? We are both of us, we are living entities. Why he has got this body, I have got this body, and one may have better body than me. Why? There are so many 8,400,000 species of life and different position. Why this is? There is no such inquiry. There is no such knowledge. Therefore, they have been described here as andha, blind. They do not know the goal of life, that we are part and parcel of God, mamaivangsha jiva bhuta. Somewhere or other we have come in material contact. Now it is our duty to get out of these laws of material, ishatantra, under certain condition. Just like under certain condition a criminal is put into the prison house, so it is his duty to know that I have committed this criminal activity, therefore I have been put into this jail or prison life. Somehow or other complete it and let me decide not to commit again any criminal act so that I may be put again into prison life. This is intelligence. Similarly, we should be educated how we have been put into this material conditional life and how we can get out of it, and then again in our spiritual life we can go back to home, back to Godhead. That should be the aim of life. But nate vidu, they do not know that. Nate vidu, sarthagatim. The progress should be towards Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Back to home, back to God. They do not know. Why? Because durasaya. They are thinking that we shall make adjustment in this material life and we shall be happy. Durasayaji bahiratam. Bahi means external. This material world is the external energy of God, and the spiritual world is the internal energy of God. So we are in the external energy of God. The external energy of God means, although we are eternal, we have to accept different types of body according to our desire, according to our tendency to enjoy this material world. Therefore, that facility is given in this material world. In the spiritual world, there is only one aim. They are all eternal servitors of the Supreme Personality of God. They have no other desire. That is spiritual world. So you can transform this material world into spiritual world if you have got only aim to please the Supreme Personality of God. Then it can be transformed into spiritual world. Although spiritual world is differently situated, parastasmattu bhavayanna bhaktya bhaktya sanatana. There is another nature which is spiritual world. They have no information, but we get information from Bhagavad Gita and other shastras. The spiritual world is still bigger. This material world is the 1/4 of the God's creation. And the spiritual world is the 3/4. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Ekangsena sthitu jagat. When Arjuna inquired about Krishna's vibhuti, his opulence, he summarized, Athava bahunaitena kingyatena tavarjuna vishtabhya idam krishnam ekangsena sthitu jagat. My dear Arjuna, how long I shall describe you about my opulence? I summarize it that this material world
is only 1/4 manifestation of my opulence. Ekangsina sthituya. This material world means we have got experience about this universe up to the sky, as far as we can see the horizon. This is one universe. And there are millions of universes like this. That is stated in the Brahma Samhita, that Jasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanda Koti Kotishu Asesha Vasudhadi Vibhuti Bhinnam. Jasya Prabha, the Lord's effulgence, is Brahma effulgence. Within that Brahma effulgence, there are innumerable universes. Jagadanda Koti. Jagadanda means this Brahmanda. Anda, it is round, it is not flat. Anda, just like egg. Koti. Koti means innumerable. And in each universe, Jasya Prabha Prabhavatu Jagadanda Koti, Kotishu Asesha Vasudhadi. In each Brahmanda, there are unlimited number of planets and stars. Asesha Vasudhadi. Vibhuti Bhinnam. And each planet is differently situated. Each planet has got specific atmosphere, specific arrangement, just like the sun globe. The sun globe is fiery. The moon planet, it is very pleasing. There is also fire, but it is surrounded by cold atmosphere. Therefore it is very pleasing. So, Vibhuti Bhinnam, every planet has got different atmosphere. And each and every planet, there are different kinds of living entities, just suitable for that atmosphere. Don't think that in the sun planet there is no life. There is also life. If there is no life, how Krishna says that imang vivassate yogam pratyavan aham avayam. Vivasate means the king of sun planet is known as Vivassan. So Krishna spoke with him. So how you can say there is no life? So this is material world. Many millions of universes. In another place it is said, Jasyaika nishasita kalamathavalamba jivanti loma vilaja jagadanna natha. So we have to take information from the authoritative literature, what is the position of this material world, the spiritual world, God, and His relationship with us, our position. This is real knowledge, and not that a knowledge that how to live. Living condition is fulfilled by the nature's way. There are 8,400,000 different forms of living entities. They are not concerned how to eat, how to sleep. They know by nature's arrangement, there is already arrangement. Just like the birds in the morning, they rise up early in the morning. They are not concerned where they will eat. They know there is already arrangement for eating. The elephants in Africa, they know that God has already arranged for their eating 40 kilos at a time. The ants within the room, they know that there is already arrangement. So if God has arranged for everyone 8 million different species of life or forms of life, why not for human being? There is arrangement. But in the human being is advised to do certain things. They must do it. Then there is no question of scarcity. There is, everything is arranged there. Just like Krishna says, Annad bhavanti bhutani. You produce your food grains so that the animals and the man both will be happy. But if you don't produce food grains, if you produce sugar cane, then how they will be satisfied? Food grains must be produced. That is the injunction of the Shastra. So jasastra vidhimussita vartate kamakar. if you do not follow the instruction of the Shastra, Shastra means the instruction of God, then na siddhing savai, such civilization will never be perfect. Na siddhing savai, na sukham, neither they will be happy, na parangati, neither they will be elevated back to home, back to God. This is the defect. Therefore, we should try to understand what is the goal of life. But that we do not know. Nati vidu sarthaka thing is know by their own blind intelligence. They are trying to adjust things within this material world, and they are being failure repeatedly. Still they have no sense. So those who are actually leaders of the society, they should be sensible. They should take advice, instruction from the most perfect personality, Krishna, and adjust things. Then they will be happy. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. And if you have question, if you don't agree, then you must have question.
Are you sure that you are writing what you're doing?
He's asking if we're sure that we are writing what we are saying.
Are you sure that you are right? I am sure because I am not speaking my words. I am speaking from the authority. Therefore I am sure.
You're sure somebody else's.
Now your question is, are you sure? So I am sure because just like a small child, he does not know what is this. He asks, Father, what is this? The father says, my dear child, it is called a ring. So I heard from my father, it is called ring, and if I say it is ring, then I am sure. I don't say it is something else. I heard it from my father that it is called a ring. So if I call a ring, it is truth. I may be child, but because I have heard from my father, who is not a child, he is mature, and he gives me the knowledge, this is called ring, and when I say this is ring, that is perfect. You can say that you are a child, how do you know it is ring? But if he says, my father has said, this is ring, then it's perfect. Similarly, we are not talking anything manufacturing. I think, we don't say like that. Because I know I have no value. But we say what the authority says, Krishna says. That is our position. Therefore we are sure.
Yes, I should like to know one thing, Prabhupada. You have just said that in the moon there is a cold atmosphere and there is still living entity there. You see, but what the Americans have said, you see, because they have sent men there, even rockets there, satellites.
So I understand, your authority is American, my authority is Shastra. That is the difference.
But they have
That is the
they
difference.
have-
That means your authority is American. You say through the words of the American. You have not experienced. Your position, you have no experience. My position, I have no experience. But you accept the Americans' authority and I accept the Shastra as authority. That is the difference.
This I want to know the difference, whether it is so or not.
That is up to you, whether you accept American or the Shastra. That is up to you. But you cannot say, because you have learned from American, therefore it is correct.
But it is, they have revealed to the world that there is no living entity there. But the Shastra says, you see, there is.
Why? The reason does not say so. Why there is no living entity? We see living entity are everywhere. Why say that there is no living entity?
But when these fellows have gone there,
These fellows, therefore your authorities are these fellows. These fellows will say something now and after 10 years they will change. These fellows are like that.
now, according to science, it is said that
According to science means American science or Russian science. That's how.
this sun, you see, is a ball of fire. Nothing can exist there. According to what you have just.
No, we have got information, even in the fire there are living entities. Why? Because in the Bhagavad Gita you find the constitutional position of the living entity is that it does not become burnt. So how you can say that in the fire, what is the verse? No, in the second chapter there is the description of the living entity we find. The living entity find out. Achhidyam, adajayam. Find it.
Achejo yam adhayo yam aklejo shosha evacha nityak sarvakatak stanur achalo yam sanatana. This individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble, and can be neither burned nor dried. He is everlasting, all-pervading, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same.
So if he is all-pervading and if he is unburnable, then how it is possible that in the fire he does not exist? It cannot be burned, and it is everywhere. Sarvaga. And we find also when we go on the sea, beach, within the sand there is life. Now it is up to you to accept the authority of Bhagavad Gita or authority of the Americans. That is it. We follow the authorities of Bhagavad Gita. Adajayam, it cannot be burnt. And from reason also, there is, in the water there are living entities, in the air there are living entities, in the earth there are living entities. So the material elements are five: earth, water, fire, air and sky. So if everywhere there is living entities, fire is also one of the material elements. Why not in the fire? What is the reason? And Bhagavad Gita says, adajayam, it is never burned. So why do you think like that? Then in the fire there is no living entity. Therefore, they have been described as blind. Andha jathandhi rupaniyamana. They are blind and they are leading other blindness. But they do not know what is the laws of nature, how things are going.
There's another question. Yes.
Hare Krishna. So this lecture was on Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.31, books for the blind. So Srila Prabhupada started with this verse, and so initially Prabhupada was telling that in this modern civilization there is a big defect, big defect in this modern civilization. So what is that defect which Prabhupada was talking about? Yes, Mike. Yes, Harikumar, loudly. Yes, they don't know the aim of the life, and then another, that is one thing, and they don't know the aim of the life, and still they are called leaders. So this is the defect of modern civilization. Haribo. So then Prabhupada was telling that this is especially this defect is certainly found in Kali Yuga. And then Prabhupada was telling that with the advancement of Kali Yuga, Prabhupada specifically told 5-6 things which will get on reducing as the Kali Yuga advances. So can anybody tell what are the 4 or 5 things which will reduce? Yes. Yes, please. Yes. Hmm. Yes. So duration of life, bodily strength, memory, mercifulness, and religious sense, and everything will be reduced. Prabhupada said. Haribo. So Prabhupada then later was telling that Dehatma Buddhi. We consider that we always think in the terms of the body. So Prabhupada was telling that in this bodily identification, people are identifying that we are belonging to particular country. But then Prabhupada was telling that it is our creation. So how it is our creation? Prabhupada explained. Yes, Mahesh. Yes. Uh, yeah. One verse also Prabhupada spoke in this regard. Prabhupada said that all this land belongs to God. Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam. Hari Bol. Yes, so then later on, then Prabhupada was telling that in this world, leaders should be perfect. And in this regard, Prabhupada said why the leader should be perfect, and Prabhupada quoted a shloka also for this. Yes. Yes, that was afterwards. Yeah, that is also there in relation. Yad yad acharti shreshtas tat tat eva tarujanam. So Prabhupada was telling that if somebody is a leader, so common people is going to follow. So if the leader is not aware about anything, he is blind, so he'll actually, the public will also, the people also will follow them. Yes. Hari Bol. So afterwards, then Prabhupada was talking about how in this material world uh, we are having real problems, and real problem is birth, death, old age, disease. And then Prabhupada was telling that in this world, the world is created that we will actually get infected by modes of material nature. So in this regard, he quoted two shlokas. Uh, Telling that how in this world nothing is in our control, and we are ought to get infected by material modes. Yes. Karanam guna sangosya sad asad yoni janmasu. And another shloka also Prabhupada quoted, prakritiya kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha. Yeah. So then afterwards, then Prabhupada was talking about, Prabhupada was telling that shloka where Arjuna is asking about Krishna's vibhuti. So then Krishna is telling Arjuna that how much I can describe. And in that, then Prabhupada was telling that there are different planets. There are different planets which are having different atmospheres, different specific arrangements. So in that, Prabhupada was telling that even sun has life. So then Prabhupada proved that how sun has life by one he said that by something is not before question answer. Yeah, that is one proof which Prabhupada talks about afterwards. Yes, Imam Vivasvate Yogam. So then Prabhupada is telling that Krishna gave this knowledge to sun god, Vivasvan. So that means that there is life in sun also. Yeah. So Krishna personally spoke to him. So then Prabhupada was telling that how in this world arrangements are already made. We need not actually spend our time in working on how to sleep and how to eat. And then Prabhupada was telling that animals and man both can be happy. They should just follow one simple injunction of the Shastra. So by which they will actually get they will have they will be satisfied with food. So they should actually, injunction of the Shastra say that man should actually produce grains. He should produce food grains. So Prabhupada specifically told that if you produce sugar cane, you cannot be satisfied, but you should produce food grains by which man also can be satisfied and animals also can be satisfied. So that's how you can be happy. Then he said that this is the injunction of Shastra. And if somebody is not following this injunction of Shastra, so then civilization will never be perfect. No one, neither they will be happy, nor they will be elevated back to Godhead. Yeah, so that is the biggest defect of this civilization. And then Prabhupada was talking about, then there were different two questions which there were there. Hearing that how one question was about life in moon. So there was a discussion that can our authority be America or can our authority be Shastra? And then before that, Prabhupada was telling that how what is the surety? Person was asking. So Prabhupada was telling, I am sure because I have heard it from our Guru Parampara. Just like a son comes to know everything from his father. Yeah. Yeah. Fine. So we'll end here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.